And how are we doing, kiddies? What's going on? What is new? Scouring. Sorry, my camera has been driving me nuts lately. Time for a new camera. Anyways, how are we all doing? I just figured I'd come in here, had a bit of time. I wanted to say thanks to hey Steven, how are you? Hey Bud Files, Rob, and Laura in chat. I wanted to say thanks to Dustin Wade of the Wade Manor for coming on the show to kick off the new season on Sunday, last Sunday. Great show. And I want to say thank you for the shirt. It was like super fast. And this is a cool shirt, man. This is really, really cool. See that? Awesome shirt. And I want to thank you for sending it, Dustin. Awesome. And it was super fast. I mean, we talked about it, Sunday night. I think he sent it out Monday morning. Bang. Of course, it's not really coming a long way. Woodstock isn't far, but cool nonetheless. Awesome T-shirt. Great show. If you are in the area or close by, I would highly suggest. I can't recommend because I haven't been there myself, and I really would like to get out there and hopefully very soon and check out the museum. But by the sounds of it, sounds like a really, 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 really cool place. And some of the objects he has within the museum itself, awesome. Hey, Blissful Trim, how are you? Thanks. Welcome. So yeah, it was really cool, and yeah, thanks again for the shirt. I'm a t-shirt whore. I mean, I love t-shirts. I can't tell you how many freaking t-shirts I have, but thanks all the same. I'll wear it with pride. Once again, I'll show you. Awesome. Get it up here. Once again. Oh, hope if I got it right. There it is. Awesome t-shirt. Thanks again, Dustin, and look forward to having you back on the show. Like I said, I don't know how long. Oh, this camera's driving me nuts. How long I'm going to go? I just wanted to come in and say, hey, how's it going? And maybe chit chat for a bit. And yeah, um, I was going to have the fifth episode of the Dark Woodlot ready for release premiere tomorrow night, but that's not going to happen. We'll probably push it till next week. I want to put the finishing touches on it. As I explained, it's a really really tough episode to edit. It's really really a tough one. It's given me a lot of trouble. So it was supposed to be episode 4, but unfortunately, like I said, it's just really really tough. So I've had to revisit it and try a better sort of scenario with it. Yeah, it's very stagnant. It's giving me a tough time. So hopefully I will have it ready. It should be ready for next Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But as you saw the last episode last week, last Thursday, episode 4, change of direction, obviously, and sort of just a lighter side of you know our time in the woodlot. And it's not always serious. It's not. There's some light joking around and stuff like that that happens quite often. And I really wanted to like convey that and show you guys that kind of experience. I mean, we had a lot of fun shooting the episodes. Originally, it was supposed to be just a documentary. But because we had so much footage, we decided to open it up and say, hey, let's make it like a little web series. So that's, as you see it, that's how it's unfolded so far. And like I said, episode 5 will be dropping next Thursday, most likely next Thursday night. I wanted to have it ready for this Thursday, but not going to happen. A bit a miracle. It's not going to happen. Well, thank you. Thank you. And again, you can watch the first 4 episodes here on the channel. The channel. What else? And in fact, we're going back this October. We're going back in and shooting the last 3 or 4 episodes of the series. It's looking that way because, like I said, the location is about to be developed, or at least it seems like it. So we don't know how much time is left. So this October, we're going to get back in there and finish things up with probably about 3 or 4 episodes. Picked up some more equipment, some new equipment, so some better footage to look forward to with the upcoming episodes. Those, hey Tim, how are you? Probably won't drop until probably maybe late November, early December, depending on the footage and what's how things go. But yeah, so yeah, and got a little bit of a surprise. I will be doing sort of a paranormal educational sort of thing for a cultural thing in local town here. Looking forward to it. Quite a few people go out to it, so I'm looking forward to that. The team's going to be with me, and yeah, we're going to be doing that next Friday night. So yeah, in Milton. So I mean, if anybody is, who watches or whatever else is local, by all means, pop on out to Victoria Park in Milton on Friday, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be there on hand to give you a glimpse into our experiences over the God. Geez, next year is going to be 20 years. 20 years that the group's been together, that we've been investigating and researching the paranormal in various locations across Canada and, of course, in the US, many in the US as well. So, I mean, I was watching some YouTube earlier, and I must say, bravo to Jimmy over at Ghost Quest. Really, really cool show. Really, very, very creative. Really love that show. If you guys haven't subscribed to Ghost Quest, by all means, go and hit up his channel. Does a great job. He's got some documentary, The Ghost of Carmel, Maine. Really, really cool um, documentary. There's 2 parts, and a third part, I believe, is coming out soon or on its way. But very creative show this evening. Bravo to Jimmy on that. And I'm very, very critical with a lot of the paranormal. I really am. I've always been that way because, obviously a lot of people can't decipher between entertainment and real paranormal, and a lot of what you see here on YouTube is not real paranormal. But there were some people I'm not going to name the channel, but there was a location that was the center of a, I guess, episode or investigation that they were a part of. And some of the things, the content, I kind of find it hard because I've been to that location many times in the past. And never once have I ever, 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 ever heard or mentioned of anything of what was being said in this episode of the content. And I don't really want to get into details, but I just drives me nuts um, when you just put stuff out there and claim it to be real. Just there's a lot of it out there. Sad but true. Very true. Hey Melissa, how are you? Good to see you. You know, I really have a hard time when people, and it's across the board, it's all over the place. It's gotten worse over the years. Um, in the 30 years, almost 30 years that I've been doing this, um, social media has really opened a can of worms with the paranormal. I mean, anybody and everybody now can present to you what they think is, evidence of the paranormal, whatever. And a lot of it is just pure crap, just crap, you know. And I think and I got to stop saying, I say it a lot, um, but there are a lot of people who are really behind the scenes that put forth a life's time of really, really intriguing research and experimentation and thinking outside the box in terms of trying to present some sort of unique findings within the paranormal, trying to explain, of course, within the boundaries, we have explanations pretty much, well, theories, but it's really the outside of the box that people, because science really only has theories about a lot of this stuff, hence the paranormal. But I mean, people will exploit that and say, look at, no, I have proof right here, look at, this is proof. And then when somebody calls them on it, it's just like, wow, oh my God, it's like a dogfight. You have to learn that if you're going to be in this field of presenting what you figure or think or, convinced is paranormal evidence, you have to accept the fact that you're going to be scrutinized, you're going to be criticized, you're going to be shot down. You know, people who are experienced and have gone through similar, sort of scenarios will tell you, will educate you. And that's a thing. The education is never ending. It never stops. You're always a student of the paranormal. You never will learn everything. Experience will bring you a lot of answers, but you're not an expert. You're not an expert. By far are you an expert? Any of us. And I mentioned the fact that we're doing this sort of paranormal, sort of educational sort of thing for this cultural thing, local cultural event. And in their description of us, they call us paranormal experts. And I told her, I said, well, we're not really experts. We're experienced. We're seasoned, but we're not experienced. We're not experts. We're the furthest things from experts. So, I mean, hey, what are you going to do though? I mean, people who are just, they're just excited to have us in there to because they saw us. They were at another event that we had done a few months ago, last month actually, and they're really, hey, they wanted us to be a part of the, this town's, this cultural event sort of thing that they have, and it's pretty big. It's a much larger scale. I mean, I've gone into high schools, I've gone into schools, and uh, you know, spoke about the paranormal to teenagers and stuff like that. And I always enjoy that. I always enjoy talking with kids and teenagers, even adults, whatever. I enjoy it because, hey Sue, how are you? People enjoy hearing this stuff. They want to know what you've experienced. They want to know if you've been able to gather anything that might be intriguing, findings, EVPs and video or whatever. Or they just love to hear your stories, right? And I mean, and you hate to say, look at paranormal investigating is not romantic. It's not. It's the furthest thing. It's not entertaining. It's the furthest thing from what you see in a lot of these shows on YouTube, on TV, and so on and so on. It's the furthest thing from it. It can be extremely boring. You're not seeing the 3 or 4 hours in between the edits because they're not going to get any viewership if they show that, right? Let's be honest, they're not. So they got to give you something. They got to give you something that entertains you, and that's what a lot of this is. It might be heading, it might be some strange noise in the dark. You know, with the dark wood light, as you notice, we're giving you everything, really. I mean, everything. I mean, we can't give you everything because it go on for like hours, but we give you a glimpse into the reality of things. We're not forcing things upon you, forcing you to, oh my God, look what we got. What do you think it is? We're not forcing it upon you. I mean, there will be points in the series that we will kind of give you some sort of what we think are, well, what we kind of feel is evidence, but it's not evidence, it's findings. The trifield meter, is that what you're talking about? If you're talking about the field, yeah, it's I think it's the best field meter to have. I think if you're looking to yeah, radio frequencies, EMF, electrical, yeah. Field are the best meters to have. Uh, yeah, it'd be pretty cool, Stephen. We'd love to hear if you got anything. But what I always tell people too is to yeah, tri-field meter is the best field meter. I mean, you can get into Gauss meters and really expensive stuff. And tri-field meters are pretty expensive too, but I would recommend using a tri-field meter. And yeah, educate yourself in how to read them because a lot of people don't really know how to read them. So yeah, tri-field meters are great. But what I recommend, something simple is like just leaving it, like if you're looking for something to grab something out of your house, if you think something's going on, if you know something's going on or whatever, just leave a recorder. Leave a recorder, let it run, let it run. And you never know what you're going to capture. You never know. I mean, especially if you want to do it in your own house. A lot of people don't want to do it in their own house because they don't want to be frightened out of moving out, right? I mean, and that literally goes for it when you're going in and investigating somebody's house. I mean, I don't know how many times I've heard the fact that uh you have demons in your home. You've got demon activity. We need to cleanse your house. Otherwise, you will be, whatever. And people don't think about what they're saying. They just want to kind of give the people who requested the help like a solid, well, yeah, we need to act fast, and not realizing what damage you're doing to those people and their home by saying something like that. Mentally, you're fucking them up. They become very doubtful and think, oh my God, do we need to leave? Do we need to move? We need to get out of this house? It's it's the last thing you want to say to people is you've got demonic activity in your home. Hey, Cheryl. Tarot readers, yeah, you can get me. Don't get me going on tarot readers, psychics, mediums. Don't get me wrong. I've worked with a lot of psychic mediums, empaths, sensitives, blah blah blah, and 99% of them. mm. But I'll tell you, the woman who works with us is phenomenal. She just blows me away every time she reads a location with zero information or background. You could bring her into a fresh location, and when she reads it, it just blows your mind away. She can read a photo. Like, you give her a photo of a person. You don't tell her the name, you don't say anything. You give her the photo of that person. She does a little bit of a reading on that photo, and then she comes back to you maybe a couple hours later, or maybe a day later. She doesn't do any background check, because I mean, honestly, you don't give her any information about a photo. Nothing. You don't. She doesn't know who the person is. And bang, she comes. She comes to you, and let me tell you, what she tells you will bring shivers to your bones. Literally, literally, it's so amazing how bang on, slightly off a little bit, but I'm telling you, when she reads a location, a photo, whatever, it's you're like, wow, how? You she didn't cold read you. You don't give her any, little tidbits so she can read them. You literally don't give her anything, and bang, it's incredible. So I mean, there are people that really genuinely have an ability. I believe we all do. And it stems back from when we were kids, children. Before the filters were put in place, I believe that we had the ability to understand a realm that those filters, the domestication that society has put in place, we're able to sort of experience. And as we get older with these filters, the societal filters, you lose that ability. Some people retain it. Some people never lose it, you know. And those people who never lose it, those people that retain it and train themselves to utilize it again, have a true ability. They really do. Absolutely, Daniel. Need to unlock. Absolutely. Some people can. Hey, Spookfest, how are you? Good to see you. Some people continuously throughout life are able to home it. And I was approached. I was just hold on. I'm just reading this. Just reading. I mean, a person approached us during a speaking engagement, and she came forward and said, "Look, I'm sensitive. I do know how to use or utilize my ability, and have over the years, and I would like to sort of expand and move to the next level, and being able to um, read a location. She'd never used it reading a location. She was able to read people. She was able to sort of give them a glimpse into what her thoughts, and fairly successful in that. But she wanted to learn how to like transition in from reading people to reading locations. And it's not as easy because I mean, when a lot of these sensitives read, they literally can drain their energy, zap themselves until they're absolutely tired, right? It takes a lot for them to read, to home in to whatever ability they have and how they utilize it. It takes a lot out of them. It really does, right? So the the empath that we have, it's she'll go into the location, she'll do her reading, and then bang, that's it. Just enough energy so she's not drained. Um, wow, incredible. That's awesome. She's been able to do it that long. 89 years old. Wow. Bravo. Yeah, it's really cool, and it's really neat to see people who are able to utilize or authentically have an ability. And like I said, we all do, I think, have an ability. But most of us really just don't care, or don't really read the writing on the wall, if you will. I mean, there are certain times in your life when you kind of surprise yourself, and you sit there and go, maybe I am psychic. But don't even really think much about it. And then you move on, and that's it. You might bring it up here and there in the future when you're having a conversation with people on the subject. Is, oh, yeah, I remember one time. And then bang. Okay, well, maybe I could open this up. I'll open this up for a bit. Hold on. Okay. Uh, how can you find somebody trustworthy to help you hone your skills? It's tough. It really is. It's really tough to find somebody that you can trust. Yeah, it's that's like I said. I've worked with many people, many psychic mediums, sensitive empaths, whatever, however intuitive, however you want to call them, and many of them uh, are in it for the money, and they're not all like that. They're in it for the fame, looking for fame. So you stay away from people who charge. I think people who charge, I don't think are going to help you at all. People are looking for fame. Same thing. I always find that people who are authentic are the ones that kind of are underlining. They do their thing, and they don't look for any credit. They don't look for any money. They just want to help. They authentically want to help people. I find they're the ones that you kind of home into and sort of, okay, let's see the ability this person have, and put them to the test. You know, one thing you need to do is remember when you see one of these psychic mediums or whatever, blah, 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 don't give them any information, none, even body language. Some people learn how to read body language. So you really need to walk in with a poker face. You got to have a good poker face, right? Or you need to be a good liar. But it's because I mean, if they have that ability to be able to read you, then they should be able to read you without problems, any problems at all. So they really don't need any information because they will cold read you. So, yeah. And I think one of the worst parts too is the fact that a lot of them are like vultures. They feed on grievance. They feed on people who are grieving, people who have lost a loved one. A lot of people who are fresh to have lost a loved one will seek these people out for a sense of comfort in knowing that their loved one has passed on, that they're okay or whatever else. And yeah, these people will give you that false sense of hope that everything is okay, and it's not okay. It's not true a lot of the times. You know, I I would highly recommend you don't see a psychic, you know, that will charge you up the wazoo just to have a 5-minute reading, and her to or him to say, "Oh yeah, your husband or wife or whatever passed. They're okay. They're doing fine. They're with the rest of the family." Blah blah blah. Bullshit. Bullshit. And I hate to be, squash that, the pleasantries of, how a psychic will look. They're trained to make people happy. No, they're not. They will make your life more miserable. They really will. They will they will tag you along, give you a little tidbit. Oh, that will be $10 more. $10 more, and I will let you know exactly. Oh, another $15. It's like, come on. Some of these psychic mediums will charge you like $700 per hour. Per hour. I think Sylvia, what was her name? Sylvia Brown. She was charging like $700 an hour on a phone reading. You phone up her hotline, she would charge you $700 to have a reading. And people got suckered into it and believed it. And it didn't matter that they were out $700. They had a sense of hope. Oh my God, yes, I'm in debt, but I know. Absolutely, it is robbery. And I've mentioned this, not psychic mediums, but and it's bad. It's really bad. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. I mean, you call up some of these psychics, and you listen to the rates. The rates are phenomenal. $700 is nothing now. It's a drop in the bucket. It's a drop in the bucket. I had an elderly couple call me, and they had just won a court battle. They had a couple in their home because they contacted this couple, and I've mentioned this story a few times on the show, but they had a couple come into to their home because were experiencing some strange noises, activity, if you will, noises that they couldn't explain, and they didn't know who to turn to. So I guess they did a little bit of research and they found these people, and they invited them into the home, and they gave them an assessment of what was going on, and they simply told the elderly folks that they had some demonic activity in their home and the home needed to be cleansed. Of course, them being naive, they didn't understand. They just wanted whatever was happening to stop, to get rid of it. Fine, just do what you need to do, and hopefully we can move on without any more problems. $8,000 to have their house cleansed. They paid it. They came, the husband and wife or whatever team came in, they did their sage and cleansed the home and blah, 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 and did their mojo and told the folks that you'll no longer have any problems. No longer. You'll be fine now. They've been warded off. So they went on their merry way, $8,000 in pocket, never to be seen again. The elderly couple who have to live in this house continue to experience the same noises, the same activity afterwards. And they contacted these people again and say, hey, look it. I thought you said we weren't going to have any problems anymore. You guys, we gave you money. Hey, Jeremy, how are you? Good to see you, man. Always great to see you. We were told that we weren't going to have this issue anymore. We would like our money back. And of course, hang up the phone. End of story. So the elderly couple decided to take these people to court. They took them to court, and thankfully won their money back. They got their money back. And that's hence they called us up, asked us, can you come in and give us an assessment as to what might be going on? Absolutely. What do you charge? Nothing. We don't charge anything. We just would like to help you if we can, and that's all. So 99.9% of paranormal activity is explainable. I don't care what anyone tells you, but that's the truth. Yes, there is 1% that we don't understand, that science can't explain, blah, blah, blah. Yes, there is things that happen. Don't get me wrong. But 99.9% real paranormal activity is rare. It's absolutely rare. And when we went into the house, you know what the problem was? Do you know what the problem was? I'll tell you, after you guys donate $30 to the channel. No, I'm just kidding. The problem was they had a set of pipes in the basement where the bracket where the pipe was in had loosened, and this piping system was probably 80 years old, man. I'm telling you, it was old. And literally, when you turn the water on and the pressure was going through the pipe, it would literally shake the pipe, and the pipe would rub in the bracket and would make this really eerie, really, really fucking strange noise, creepy noise. And that's all it was. I brought them down to the basement, and I said, I grabbed the pipe and I started going like this with the pipe. and said, is this what you're hearing? Is this what you're experiencing? That's exactly it. That's exactly it. You know what that is? That's the pressure, your water pressure, causing the pipe to move with a loose bracket. All you had to do was get a new bracket, tighten it up into the support beam, and you should be good to go. Hey, Elite, how are you? Good to see you. Going good. How about yourself? And that's all it was. Absolutely. Yeah, it does. But that's all it was. Something as simple as that. But yet people don't think of that, when they're trying to explain what is going on. It is so simple. Many things are very simple. When you think logically about this. A lot of people, they go into these houses and investigate them. All they want evidence. They want to provide you with some EVPs or some video phenomena or something, some crazy or spirit box talking away. There's these things are entertainment. I hate to say it, that's just the way it is. And no, I don't like completely debunking the paranormal, but I can't stand it when people try to convince you that this is paranormal activity, that this is somebody trying to reach out and say something to you. It's entertaining. Don't get me wrong. It's very entertaining. Absolutely. EVP is really, really an intriguing area. It always has been. Especially if you capture EVP in a Faraday cage. When you can have people trying to debunk them, but you can try to debunk all you want. But if that EVP is coming through a shielded cage, then what is it? It's not radio frequency interference. It's not cell phone interference. It's not any other interference because it's shielded from all that. And if anybody knows what a Faraday cage is, you know damn well nothing's going to get through it. That would, frequency wise, that would literally screw with your recorder. Yeah, absolutely, Cheryl. Like you seeing that in court. Yeah, it is pretty fascinating. Estes method, and it's becoming more and more popular. I'm seeing. Um, that's only been in the last few years, but I again, I'm kind of. I think the jury's still out on it. Interesting. Um, yeah, I mean, the jury's still out on it. I think it is quite fascinating, though, Sue. I do agree. It's interesting. Uh, I, I I just have a hard time, with people who bring these spirit boxes and so on into an environment and literally try to make you believe that it's paranormal activity. Right. Force feed it to you as paranormal activity. You know, and I think you really need to scrutinize something like that before you come forward and say it's paranormal activity. You really do. I mean, you really have to cover all your bases. You really do. And it's really hard to find people who cover all their bases. I, a lot of the stuff that's presented here on YouTube is just that. I mean, they're presenting it to you on YouTube, you know, entertainment, really. And to me, it's not really investigating the paranormal. I'm a grassroots kind of guy when it comes to the paranormal. Always have been, and I think the grassroots approach has always been the best. I mean, yes, you do have to think outside the box, and I do quite often. I will employ some old fashioned techniques. Going into an old location. I mean, I'll bring an etch a sketch as a trigger item. An etch a sketch. I think they're brilliant. It's amazing because I'll tell you, if there's something that fucks around with that etch a sketch, and there was nothing around it, then okay. Because if anybody knows anything about etch a sketches and the magnetism, is it the environment around it? Is it interacting with what might be around it in terms of, well, the way channels make what is said, and this is fit their investigations. Yeah, well, of course, and that's why the jury's still out. I think. I find that if you was in the woods in the middle of nowhere again, yeah, yeah, crazy shit, eh? Crazy shit. Hold on. Let me see. Speaking of shit in the middle of the woods, stuff in the middle of the woods. God. Talking about in the middle of the woods. How do you get an EMF going? Oh. I've got lots of stuff in the middle of the woods. Hold on. What's this one? That's insane, huh? I don't know. That's in the middle of the woods. Nobody there. Nobody. That last one is still, let's see. clearly hear somebody saying something, right? I mean, you clearly do. There's nobody there. And that's in the middle of the woodlot. How about this one? Let me see. Let me get rid of some of these and load up some fresh ones. Where are we? Let's see. Tell me what you guys hear. Like I've played this one before, but tell me what you guys. Tell me what you hear. Let me just see. Is it loaded up? Yeah. Here we go. I'll play this. I'll play it over and over. You're gonna hear somebody talking, like a male talking, and then you're gonna hear a female, and then all of a sudden you're gonna hear something over the female as he responds. Listen.
I'll check, go around and ask some questions and we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay.
So just level to the ground like this.
Yeah, just make sure.
I'll check, go around and ask some questions and we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay.
So just level to the ground like this.
Yeah, just make sure.
I'll check, go around and ask some questions and we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay.
So just level to the ground like this.
Yeah, just make sure.
I'll check, go around and ask some questions and we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay.
So just level to the ground like this.
Yeah, just make sure.
I'll check, go around and ask some questions and we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay.
So just level to the ground like this.
Yeah, just make sure.
I'll check, go around and ask some
What do you guys
questions
hear?
and
What
we'll
do
see
you
what
guys?
happens.
Let's see.
Oh, okay.
So just level to the ground like this.
Yeah, just make sure.
I'll check, go around and ask some questions and we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay.
So just level to the ground like this.
Exactly.
I'll check,
Bang.
go around.
Laura got that one. That's exactly what a consensus seem to think what it's saying, and that's what yes. And that was taken from an old pioneer cemetery that we were doing research in that laid abandoned for many years, and it was last used in the early 1900s. And a majority of the people buried in this particular pioneer cemetery are children. And back when many of these people were buried there were during a time when influenza and tuberculosis, TB, or sorry, not TB. Oh, not tuberculosis. It wasn't tuberculosis. It was what am I thinking of? Not TB. Influenza and smallpox. Sorry, smallpox were a huge problem for kids because there was no vaccines or whatever back then for this stuff. And absolutely, send it to me, Laura. I would love to listen to it. And it just it's heartbreaking to think that all these children are buried in this, especially in one area of this small little cemetery. It's so heart-wrenching, and it was at a time when a lot of the I'd be happy to help you out, no problem. When a lot of the loyalists, and this was at a time when the U.S. was seeking independence from the UK, from the English, and a lot of fighting was going on in, especially in the upper east, northeast of the U.S. into Canada, and the Brits and the Americans were, battling it out, duking it out. A lot of the loyalists fled, um, the northeast states and came here and were offered land. And when you know they settled, and in this particular this old cemetery, this Pioneer Cemetery, was originally a family plot by a loyalist family called the DeForest, with the last name of DeForest, which migrated up here from several parts of the U.S. I think this particular family arm was from New York State, New York State, and if you can follow their lineage, you could see that into New York State, up and into Canada, and then throughout the Niagara region, and then up here. It's amazing when you see these the family lineage, and where they kind of went. You can see their paths through the cemeteries, the old cemeteries within the region. Is really neat. But anyways, they settled here, and they had a house, simply called the DeForest home. And the DeForest home literally was on that plot of land, and there was an old schoolhouse church, and then you had the family plot that was on the edge of the property. You might have heard it might have been me, this chair. That's probably what it was. But and when we started working and doing research in this particular Pioneer Cemetery, uh, the home was still there. In fact, the current owners of the home, were quite intrigued with the research that we were doing at the cemetery. And they eventually invited us into the home to investigate the home. But sadly, before we can get into the home and investigate it, um, I guess some tragedy happened, and they had to sell the house. The house was sold, and what was really the really really heartbreaker to this whole thing was the house was torn down. It wasn't relocated. It was torn down because a fucking rich, filthy rich Korean family decided to buy the land, demo the house, and build a mansion that looks so out of fucking place there. It's horrible to see a vital piece of history being dozed down for nothing. And it's sad. And I would have said, look, relocate it. It was such a beautiful home, fully restored home, and just reduced to nothing. Reduced to nothing. You know, it's sad, but true. Okay, I'm gonna give it a listen here, Laura. Okay, hey Adrian, how are you? I listened to this, Laura, and can you give me a little bit of background, a little bit of background on that EVP, if you will? Um, so I got a little bit of knowledge about the location, the environment in which your recording was taken. So I got an idea because I'm hearing a little bit of reverb in the background. So I mean, if you kind of can you kind of like sort of just explain to me where you're recording and you know whatever. But yeah, definitely intriguing. I would like to know more though, so I have a better understanding of what um, I'm listening to. Yeah. Hey, Adrian. Uh, Could be, my window's open, so I mean, you're probably hearing the traffic in the distance. Let me just. I'll play one more here. Let's see. Now this one. Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Let's see. Uh, okay. Let me just load if this is the one. No, that's not it. Okay. This one is this brings chills to my bones every time I listen to it. Okay, so literally, yeah, this is the one. I'll just load it up. So this one was taken in, yeah, it's my creaky chair. It's time for a new chair. I really do need a new chair. And you notice, guys, I'm not asking for donations for a new chair. Oh, but anyhow, this one that I'm loading up here was taken from the Hiram Walker Ranch, and Hiram Walker family here they're a huge whiskey family, and during the during Prohibition, the ranch itself. Hey, Julie, how are you? The ranch itself during Prohibition saw the likes of Al Capone had visited this place, and on the premises, the mansion is just absolutely amazing. I mean, the tunnels in the basement are still there for the whiskey running. They're still there. It's amazing. But unfortunately, we weren't able to investigate the house that night because they had a party going on. But we were able to investigate the stables and the guest house. The guest house was built in the 50s. And the guest house had experienced a shit ton of very negative energy over the years that it existed. It's still there as far as I know to this day. But there was a painter who was in there painting the house. The main level he was on a ladder. And of course, this is what he claims. Is it true or not? I don't know, but this is what the painter claimed, that he all of a sudden was being choked and fell off the ladder. And once he fell off the ladder, he fucking ran out the door. He would not go back in. He would not go back into the house and paint. He said, fuck it, I'm out here. So that, among other things, had happened in the house. So anyways, we took that into account. and I left a recorder. I left the recorder on the main level. When we were all upstairs, I just left a recorder just to record some ambient noise, surrounding ambient sound, and I captured this. And I'm telling you, to this day, it brings chills to my bones because there's literally nobody there with the recorder. No one. Absolutely no one. Here's the recording. What do you guys hear? There's nobody there. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Now is it, the connection to that painter who claimed he was being choked and fell off the ladder? Could it have been a trickster? I don't know, but you heard a playful laugh there. The recorder was sitting on the floor, on the ground, on the carpet, insulated. And you hear that playful laugh. Nobody there. Absolutely nobody there. Nobody. Incredible. But it's not that it's scary, but the fact that knowing you're in that house and nobody's there with you. Crazy. Crazy. To think that the things that we interact with without even knowing, 9 out of 10 times, unknowingly are in an environment that quite possibly, a theory being a glitch in the matrix, a glitch in the multiverse. I mean, science has proven that there is a multiverse, that we live in a multiverse, and you can get into it all you want and just speculate and really dive into the bare bones and drive yourself nuts in trying to understand a multiverse. And to think that there might have been a glitch, that for some odd reason, you kind of get a glimpse into a parallel universe and what's happening at any given time. Yeah, I think it made a lot of people pee when they heard it. Crazy, but I mean, yes, I mean, you can scrutinize it, you can debunk it, go ahead, by all means, go be my guest. And I welcome anyone, everyone to do so. I've had so many audio engineers listen to that. That's one that I've given to an audio engineer, and he's absolutely baffled because he's looking at they look to see if the file's been altered at all. I mean, obviously that's a given. The aisle was aisle the audio file was not altered at all. Nothing. There's an anomaly, obviously, and that's what freaks him out. Is like, wait a sec, there's an anomaly that shouldn't be there, but it's there. It's inserted itself into the frequencies, and when he looked at, he literally stripped down each frequency. So he stripped down the environmental frequency, and then obviously the laugh, and there's like kind of a pre-laugh and then a laugh. He stripped that right out and he separated it, and then he goes, it doesn't make any sense other than there's somebody there laughing or whatever they're doing, laughing. And there was literally no one there. Nobody. It makes no sense at all, but it's there. It's there. No audio filters, no boosting up the volume or whatever, nothing. That's an all natural file that you're hearing, taken by an H2 recorder. So I mean, be my guest. Like I said, I always welcome people to, you know, literally scrutinize and try to explain. I encourage it. I welcome it. I want you to, because I want to know. I absolutely want to know what I'm dealing with here. I mean, don't you? But most people, when you scrutinize, when you start telling them, they get all defensive and try to, like, s- you know, sweep it under the rug and move on. No, no, you can't be that way. You have to deal with people head on. You know, you have to deal with people head on. You can't just fucking sweep it under the rug and move on, because you're presenting something. Hey guys, I have this finding. What the hell is it? Tell me what it is. Other than what I'm hearing, I want you to tell me, explain to me what's happening here. Tell me. So you go to the experts, and the experts are paranormal experts. There are no paranormal experts. There are audio engineers, audio experts. Talk to me. Tell me what I've captured here. Those are the people that you need to rely on and to give you some sort of answers, not these people that, I'm a paranormal investigator, and I can debunk that. I can debunk that. Most paranormal investigators haven't got the slightest clue on how to investigate in the first place. Same with debunkers. A lot of debunkers haven't got a fucking clue what they're talking about. They don't. They're just as bad as the people that are presenting this shit in many cases. I'm not saying them all, but I mean, you really literally have to have a background, like, for instance, in audio, to debunk an EVP, to be an audio engineer or expert of audio frequencies and blah 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 and whatever else. I mean, who else are you going to take this to get this kind of verified, right? Scientifically, tell me what's happening here. An audio engineer is probably your best bet. It's like when you capture an anomaly on photo and you say, "Oh, look," people automatically, look, I got this weird anomaly. Oh, what the hell is it? Who the fuck do you go to give you a somewhat straight answer as to what's happening in your photo? You go to a photographer, somebody who's trained in photography, who knows all the ins and outs, all these photographic anomalies that happen. You know, that can tell you, oh yeah, this is what this is, and this is will generally would cause this to happen when you take a photo in a certain environment, blah blah blah. I mean, look at fucking orbs. God, orbs. My God, drives me fucking insane. Orbs. You watch a paranormal TV show. Oh my God, I've got orbs. Oh, please, please, orbs. There's when you really need to educate yourself on photography to learn what orbs are. Yes, I mean, when you fucking see something with your eyes, real time, there's a possibility something's going on. But when you take a photo or even a video, I mean, I don't know about you guys. You remember the phenomena years ago on coast to coast? Yeah, like magnets, exactly. Um, you know, coast to coast rods. You know, fucking rods. Oh my god, that's so cool. Oh my god, and Emilio I forget his name, came forward and he was pumping these videos that he took in Mexico in a like a valley, uh, set a cave system, and he was recording and he got these really weird things and he slowed them down because they were going so damn fast, and he slowed them down and he said, "Oh my God, those are not what the hell," and called them rods. And quite simply, they were just insects in flight at a huge, a very fast speed, a very fast speed. And then when you slowed them down, they look really weird looking creatures. But all it was elongated flight pattern of the body of this bug, this insect. And again, it went viral. People were going nuts. Oh, look at, I got rods. I got rods. I even did it years ago. I did it when I was shooting at, you know, an old cemetery, and I caught a bug. I can't, well, I don't want to play it. I can play it. I guess I'll play it for you, to give you an idea, but I can't play the music. I'm not going to play the audio because I get done with the audio, but hold on, let's see. Yeah, this chair squeaks like crazy. And literally, literally, it's okay. So here we go. I'll play this for you guys, and just to give you an idea, some of you may not know what rods are. They're quite simply bugs in flight, and at a fast speed, which they like video, especially at night, not always at night, but can't focus at the speed that these bugs are, Yeah, well, I gave it an oil, lube, whatever. It doesn't work. This chair's had it. It's time for a new one. It's falling apart anyways. God, leather pieces everywhere. It's time to go. Need a new chair. Okay, so let's see. Share screen. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So quite literally, here we go. And there, you saw a bug shoot by. Oh, that's a rod. So you slow it down. See, there's your rod. And as you can tell, slowed down even more. See, it's literally a bug in flight. And I think that's it. Yeah. So quite literally a bug in flight. And that's all. That's all it is. That's all it is. Let's see. Just reading the chat. War grave. Yeah, but yeah. Okay, Laura, I'll definitely give the file a good listen to and run it through my audio frequency, my audio frequency analyzer that I use to split the different levels of frequency and see what I can get for you. Yeah, it just sounds better as rods, right? Just sounds better that way. Again, that's what I mean. It just sounds better. And I mean, when you listen to Coast back when Art Bell was the host, you knew Art didn't really believe a lot of this shit. He really didn't. It didn't matter if he believed it. He knew it was entertaining, and people would buy into it. And he knew he would get the ratings because of the people who were his audience were primarily people working at night. Overnight shift workers, truck drivers, long haul truck drivers. A lot of these people were they would buy a lot of shit. A lot of it. Hey, Tony, how are you? Would buy into a lot of this stuff. Oh, yeah, I used to love it, Steven. Loved it. Great stuff. Great stuff. So, but yeah. Anyways, once again, I want to thank Dustin Wade for coming on the show. And I must say again, thank you again. Fucking awesome t-shirt. And it got here so quick. Once again, here's the t-shirt. Pretty cool. Loved it. Love that t-shirt. I would love to finally get down to the manor and check it out. Yeah, once again, thank you again for coming on, Dustin. And and we Alex and I look forward. We would love to do an like an on location broadcast from there. I think that'd be really cool, and do like a Ouija board session, or seance, or something, some crazy shit. It probably worked better in that house than it did at the woodlot. We did. What? Rain photo. Who was at my festival on disc? Okay, I'll take a look at it, Melissa. Yeah, Sue. I'd like to see some nocturnal frequency swag there. And again, guys, visit our merch. Grab a shirt. We got some new shirts coming out soon. Refresh. I think we might go with a different merch store, um, with better threads, better merch. Period. So we're looking into that. So in the coming weeks, we may have something to announce on that. And again, all the sales of our merch goes into the running of this show, from StreamYard to, of course, uh, New Visions Radio Network. Yeah, because I mean, we don't ask for sponsorship. I mean, we did give it a shot. Didn't work very well. So whatever. I mean, everything's out of our pockets, out of our own pockets. We pay for this, because we enjoy doing this, and we do it for you guys. Obviously, we enjoy being able to interact with all you guys. Here on YouTube, and of course, with the radio network. So, yeah, this Sunday night, not next Sunday night, this Sunday night, we have Dark Discussions are returning. Cassie from Weeping Willow Paranormal will be joining us. Um, Jeff from Exploring Harley is going to be joining us, and a few other people will be joining us to talk about all things paranormal. We'll get into some pretty nifty stuff. I think it'd be a pretty cool show. I'm looking forward to it. And the 22nd of September, we are going to have Steve Higgins on the show, who just released his book, The Paranormal Encyclopedia. He's also got a movie on YouTube called My First Ghost Hunt. I think it's called My First Ghost Hunter, My First Ghost Movie, or Ghost Hunt, I think it is. He will be on the show. So, and guys, check this out. Check out the Paranormal Encyclopedia. It is huge. The terminology in it is incredible. It covers quite a lot, a huge portion of the paranormal. The terminology, the equipment, experiences, legends, you name it. It covers so much shit. It's available on Amazon. Steve Higgins, the Paranormal Encyclopedia, he will be on the show on the 22nd of September. So I'm looking forward to that show as well. And of course, we've got much more guests down the pipeline for the season, especially going into Halloween, our favorite time of the year. We got some cool shows coming. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, comment. We love your comments. Please comment. If you guys have a comment on suggestion on who you'd like to see on the show, somebody, let us know, because we'd love to get them on the show if we can. We'd make it possible to get them on the show. If there's a topic within the paranormal umbrella you guys want to talk about, let's do it. So leave your comments. So until Sunday night, I bid you adieu and good night. Take care, everyone. Thank you for popping in here. Hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of the week, and we'll see you later. Sayonara.